Alrighty, hey there everyone. We're back here with some more Minecraft tonight. Last time we we planned and prepped. See, that's what I was trying to say. We prepped out our big farm out in the distance so we can grow some trees, crops, things of that nature, and we got some extra goodies from the ancient city. So overall, pretty good stream last stream. This time, I'm not my skin. Wait a minute, that's not cool. Give me my skin back. I'm gonna go fix that real quick. Give me 1 minute. Let's see if that fixed it. I'm gonna, hopefully it did, because I would like to actually have my cool skin. Nope. We're gonna pop back out and give that another try. Be right back again. Okay, now, wouldn't it be funny if it actually worked this time, but for real? But actually this time. I physically looked at my skin, said it was there. It's there. Alright, perfect. Anywho, yeah, we're finally back. We've got a lot of mining we need to do because we are out of most of everything. So, yeah, we're gonna need to take some time to go mine some iron today. And let's go ahead and make some more sticks. There we go. I'll get another iron axe. There we go. And yeah, we are basically like crunching here on the amount of materials we don't really have, which stinks. So we're a little broke for right now, but we can fix that here pretty soon. Or at least that's what the plan is. We've also got a good bit of leftover sugarcane, because now that we finally finished our sugarcane farm too, we can make the remaining books that we need, wherever they may be. There we go. There we go, make 15 there. So that gets us all the different books that we're going to need. We'll take some of our spruce logs and make some bookshelves. There we go. So that'll get us our finished enchantment set up there. We can tuck those away in there. I'll put the paper away in here for now, that's where I feel like putting it. And then, yeah, we basically just have some extra work we need to do. We're just mainly keeping an eye on our farms and cutting down some of these trees while we're out and about here. We're going to cut down these dark oak and pale oak trees to try and get some more wood and saplings, and then we'll kind of mix things up a little bit as we keep going along. Now, I don't have a lot of dark oak saplings. In fact, the only 4 I got were from that one tree, so I'm banking pretty hard on this giving me a ton of different saplings. Luckily, because we have Fortune 3 though, we actually should be in a pretty decent spot here. There we go, let's see what we get. Yep, that's definitely more than a couple of saplings, that's good. Perfect, looks like we'll be able to expand this pretty nicely, so from one tree we got 12 saplings as we had a Fortune 3 hoe, which again, got really lucky and I got that from an ancient city, so yeah, it's literally perfect. It's got every single enchant on it, and including mending, which is honestly great, so that means I don't have to worry about that in the future. And then that works out pretty well. Yep, there it is. Now, pale oak is also one of the different extra, what's the word, texture blocks, I guess, that's the word I'm thinking of for right now, that I'm going to be using in my base at some point. So stripped pale oak logs are very pretty and have this very nice shade of white that mixes really well with calcite, white wool, and white concrete powder. So we want to try and make sure we can use these to the fullest extent we can, because it would be nice. Get rid of that. Got another dark oak sapling for good measure. That's always good. There we go. And what I could probably do as well is make some coarse dirt to plant these on, since I don't think they'll actually get taken over when we plant anything on them. So I'll have to look into doing that. That is F3G and not B, because we want to see hitboxes, which we don't have anything growing here, so that's fine. So yeah, I think we're going to go do that coarse dirt bit real quick while we're still thinking about it. So let's go ahead and get some gravel and dirt to make some coarse dirt. That shouldn't take too long. Hopefully I've got, I guess I'm not doing that quite yet because I don't actually have any other gravel, so that's no good. Let's see here. There we go, we'll tuck all those together for now. We got our extra woods that we have out to the side that we can use. And we really do need to take some extra time to fix some things up, so we're gonna have to get on that at some point. But I think for now it might be more beneficial to go mining, whether we go get some iron or diamonds, and then I guess we can just sit down and think about what we really want. And I guess what I really want is I want to make that silverfish farm because we need XP. So let me go ahead and get that farm pulled up. I'll go ahead and post the link in chat here in a moment once I can actually find it again. Apparently I don't know my ABCs because I'm having a hard time finding the letter M in here, but you know, that's on me for being a bit of a dumbass today. That's alright though. Let's see here. Yeah, there's that funny little LA farm. Although that's not the one I use, is it? No. We might actually take a quick pit stop out to the creative world real quick because just out of curiosity, I should have built that somewhere. So we're gonna make a quick pit stop. I have no idea where the fuck it is. So yeah, we're gonna have to look around for that for a little bit. Oh, there it is right there. That makes it easy. And yeah, this is the basic premise of it that I came up with. So it's very similar. You don't need the bedrock there, obviously, but that was just to signify where the center is. This is based off of a myriad of designs off of YouTube. The one that I personally used to base this off of was by Sir James Ender. I'll go ahead and post the link here in chat for anyone who's interested. And if I remember, this will also go in the description too, but if I get that far. But either way, this is a modification of that farm that uses the same principles. So the top bit up here with the slab and the armor stand and the composter is also James Ender. So you're basically just using the sweeping effect on a sword, along with the extra water that you get. Which if you have like a water bucket, what you're able to do is you can drown these guys out. And then once they start drowning, then you can go ahead and splash them with an infestation potion. Which means we'll also have to take a trip out to the nether because we haven't gotten that far yet, unfortunately. So yeah, basically you'll load up with your infestation there. And then over enough time, they'll start producing. Now, if you just want the XP, then you just leave it like this, right? Where... Oh, actually, I don't even need to use fence gates. I could just use straight up, let me get a sword here real quick. There we go. I could just use, okay, well, I guess I need to be in a survival for this, because, sure. Alright, that's a little weird. Oh, anyways. Let's go into survival real quick. Whoa, what the hell? Uh-oh. That's not normal. They shouldn't be doing that. We're gonna go to peaceful. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna assume it's because... Oh, I remember now. Because I did end up running into that issue. And I ended up switching everything out with a trapdoor. That's gonna bucket as well. Remember, I had to switch this out with a trapdoor because I needed a physical gap. Because technically they can fit in the gaps of those bars. That was kind of my other issue there. We're gonna have to break in here a little bit. I'm also just trying to remember as well. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. So I believe I made some extra modifications in the actual hardcore world that I built this in, which is why it's relatively jankier. Because I ended up coming across these problems as I was using it, and I was like, well, we gotta fix that. So basically all it boils down to is you get some trapdoors to flatten out the sides here. And then once those are flattened out, it's literally just a matter of, you can toggle whether you want to have the silverfish exist in that chamber where all of the allays are or not. And then depending on what you want with that, you can then do whatever you need. So basically if I just want XP, I would just leave them in here like this. And if I wanted actual slime, I would flip the toggle. The toggle would then force all the silverfish down into this 5x5 water pit. And then in this 5x5 water pit in question, we also need to get another fence gate there or something. They do tend to take cramming damage too if they're up on here, so I want to make sure they can't physically get a hold of these blocks. But basically they would then fall into this pit right here. Once they're in this pit, once we've extracted all the silverfish out of here that we're looking for, so once we've extracted all the silverfish out of here, which again, literally it's just flip that open, they'll kind of go through on their own time. Eventually they'll stop struggling so much, but it does take them a while to properly fall through. But you'll start building up a ton of them here, and then once you have enough of them, you would get an oozing potion, which is why I was so happy we got that starting slime. You would get like an oozing potion, you splash them, you just gotta splash them once, and then they would basically funnel down a single pit. Yep, should have thought of that earlier. That's on me. Yeah, this ain't gonna happen. Yep, that's on me for being a bit of a dumbass. Oh, we actually got it. There you go. You would splash them with your oozing potion, and then they would fall down, die, and then the slimes that would fall down would immediately fall into the chamber down there. And then they would go through the nether. Did not mean to do that. Oh, I think we're stuck. Damn. Whoops. Oh well. So you can't make it out of there that easy. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Although it is a little freaky why that's not happening straight away. That's pretty unusual. Let's go into creative here real quick. And let's see here. Go into spectator, back into creative. Looks like we are getting our extra slime though, because you can see it is pouring in. So again, we got a nice little stream going through. Yeah, so it does work. It just looks a little goofy just with how everything goes through. I think also because I hadn't loaded this side of the portal in a long time, so that might be part of it. Alright. That's another thing too. This uses 2 portals to have them explode. I don't think that's particularly good, so at some point I would like to whittle it down to just 1. So literally it could just be... Well, their medium slimes are bigger than a full block, right? So literally no matter where they spawn, they would clip into it. Yeah, let me check that on the wiki real quick. I should be able to find that on the wiki. Yeah, so medium slimes are 1.04 blocks by 1.04 blocks, which is good because no matter where they spawn, if they physically spawn exactly on here, a tiny bit of them would clip into the portal. Well, the portal's not a full block either. So maybe they wouldn't. Let's seal that back up for a second. Just out of curiosity. And we'll go launch one of those. Now to be fair, it looks like they'll kind of go through on their own at some point as well. Although I do find it concerning that they're struggling so hard to physically make it through right this second. That doesn't seem normal. That's definitely not normal. They shouldn't be doing this. What the hell? Usually before it was just a... You could see one of them did go through. I just saw one of them go through. Slime die, so we are getting him to come through. But it is coming through a lot slower than they used to. Huh, that is really strange. So something might have changed in a recent version that's causing this to not work as intended anymore, at least in terms of what I'm using it for. Because they used to just basically, as soon as they would hit the ground and die, medium slimes would spawn and basically get instantly teleported out. Because when silverfish with the oozing effect die too close to slimes, new slimes won't spawn. So you would want to make sure that you got them out of the way as fast as possible. And if that's not the case anymore, then that's pretty concerning. So we may have to make another modification to the slime part of it, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just keep it simple and just remember that we can definitely just build the base of it, and then we can worry about the slime part of it a little later. Because I think all that'll be is just build a chute that drops enough, and then they'll drop onto like something skinny, so that way when they die and the slime spawn, they'll get pushed around by each other, and then they can fall into another pit that'll push them into the nether portal that they need to go into, or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Actually, if that's the case, then technically we don't even need to go that far with it, because we could have some kind of... If all we need to do to kill them is drop them onto something, then we could set it up to a point where they fall straight down onto something, and then when they die and the slimes come out of the silverfish, they fall down another chute that gets them out of the way pretty quickly, and then that drops them down even farther into a single chute. Yeah, we'll have to try that. That might be something that's worth doing. Yeah, because we should be able to drop them down into a single chute that's there, and then once they're in that set of chutes that we'll have, I can already see it now. Nope, I know what I want to do. Alright, we're not going to think too hard about it right now. I'm pulling up that tutorial because I'm going to have some bits and pieces that I'm going to have to do. But basically, all we got to do is get some glass, which is going to be our first problem, that we don't have any glass or sand for that matter at all. We got nada. So that's fun. We need also a kind of solid block that they will not interfere with. So it looks like we'll be using different deep slate blocks. So that's going to be our big thing. Trying to see what box they get into. Yeah, so they can only get an infested deep slate, but not infested like cobbled deep slate, so we actually should be okay. That should be fine. Alright, cool. Guess let's go ahead and get a list of everything we're gonna need here. Basically glass, hoppers, dispensers, some extra gates, things like that. I may need to go back and forth a bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go back and forth between both worlds a little bit because my dumbass is definitely gonna forget a lot of stuff. So we're gonna go. Anyways, we'll keep stringing these guys too because I don't like hearing them suffer that much. Okay, so basically, all it is a little tough to see, but I think they're just on a. Yeah, they're definitely just on a solid block here, so not like a half slab or anything. It definitely seems a little funky, but that's okay. Basically, you've got them in a block there, which we may need to get them up on something a little bit higher, but you got them on a block there. You're surrounded by a 3x3, you've got your trapdoors going around, dispenser on one side, and then slab, composter, armor stand. So it's not too difficult of a design to remember, it's just annoying because I'm dumb. But basically, yeah, we don't even need like a glass box looking in or nothing like that. We just really need to remember a couple of the other bits. So let's go ahead and go back to the hardcore world, and we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep popping back and forth, I'm sure, so get used to it, unfortunately. And with it raining, it's going to take some time for that to go away as well. But let's take it a step at a time. Let's go ahead and get, I don't know, like 4 stacks of sand should be enough. Yeah, 4 stacks of sand should probably be enough, I would have to guess. That should be okay. And since we've got a silk touch hoe with like mending on it, and I think it's got unbreaking. I know it's just got mending efficiency, silk touch. We'll be able to break the glass and replace it. So I know it's not a pickaxe or anything, but you know, literally anything with silk touch will work, so I'm not too worried about it. We've got some sand down on the riverbank we can use, so that should keep us going here. So this should get us enough to start working proper. And you're sitting right in there where I don't have to think or worry about you. And then we just need to mine out a crap ton of sand, and we're good. Now, without Aqua Affinity, this does get a lot more annoying, though, unfortunately. I guess we can also take this time to get some gravel, too. Just so we can make that coarse dirt I was thinking of earlier. That gets us a nice little bit. And I guess we can always just make a door real quick just to get some breathing air. So let's go ahead and do that. That should be pretty easy though, not too worried about it. There we go, we got that. Turn those into sticks because I can. Oh, sure, look at them go. Turn them into ink sacks, good enough. Here we get a couple extra every once in a while. You got a stack and a half. And we're probably going a little overboard with the sand at the start here, but I'd rather go overboard right now than not have enough and then cause issues later, because then I'd have to keep going back and forth, and that's just annoying. Over 2 stacks now, so that's a pretty good amount. And it looks like we're gonna need to sleep. Let's go and get our bed. I don't know how we fling sand this far out, but sure, whatever. Yeah, this will be enough. I'm fine with this. It's like 3 stacks, that's plenty. Or 3.5. About 3.5. Cool, so we'll go ahead and take all this back with us, and then we will start assembling the rest of the materials while we're waiting for everything to cook. Here we go. We got a couple of beehives up here that when it's nighttime one of these days we'll probably snatch them with our silk touch hoe. Just that way we have some extra bees to bring over, because I think it'd be nice to have them. But otherwise we can just drive right on through real quick, and yeah. We got some of our cows here, we got our sheep, they're doing pretty good. We'll leave them be. And then we basically just need to set up a chest out over by the allays. I think we will end up having the XP farm over there after all. It's far enough out of the way that it won't... It's mainly because of the... Well, no, if we actually build another portalless one for the slime converter, then we don't have to worry about that. But I think I'm going to end up tearing myself apart too much if I think about it too hard. So we're literally just going to keep it simple. We're just going to smelt our sand that we need to smelt. Ooh, we are actually pretty much out of coal, so that's no good. So we'll smelt what we can, but realistically we can't really smelt a lot right now. Let's see, extra wood for some chests. We'll do that. And then we'll head on over. We also need a note block as well. Well, not really, that's more for a different thing. We're gonna put all that there. Alright, so thinking back to what we built, we're mainly just gonna need... Let's see that composter in here. This isn't the one I use anymore, is it? No. I don't even use this one anymore. That's not even the one I use. Wait a minute. Where is the other one? Man, let's make sure that we're in a safe spot too before I start digging too hard here. Fish XP farm. There was one that... Here we go. There we go. This is the one I was looking for. So this is the one that I used. This one was by Endless Gamer. The other one was a prior design that I used probably over a year and a half ago. This is the newer one that I tend to use. So, although maybe it hasn't been a year and a half, but it's definitely been pretty recent. So that's the design I'm using. It's very cheap on materials. It's literally just armor stand, a composter, just a couple of different bits and pieces. So it's pretty cheap to make. It's just a matter of getting all the additional features that I like using too. So yeah, pretty cheap. Let's go ahead and... I was about to say, how do I not have any deep slate at all? Let's go ahead and also just make, I don't know, we're gonna make him into like deep slate bricks. Yeah, we'll do bricks. Why not? We'll get some deep slate bricks that'll handle the side. Actually, we'll do tiles because I'm positive they can't impress those. And also they do look pretty good as well, so I'm okay with that. I'll go ahead and get some deep slate tile slabs. We need a button as well, which we will get to that. Let's go ahead and just get our simple bit of glass for now. And quite literally all it is just a 3x3 hole in the ground. So wherever we want to build this at, we can build it. We should just keep in mind too that at some point we're going to have an enchantment area out here as well. Since I don't want to run too far back and forth between it, obviously. And my pickaxe should break. Yep, there it is. I'm going to say that ought to break soon. There we go. Alrighty. And then all we're really doing is we're going to pick a hole, or we're going to figure out where we want to put a hole. I think we'll put it here. So there's our center of the hole. Then we'll dig a simple 3x3 going around. There we go. That's our hole. Make some buttons. We need an armor stand as well. Composter, which we had that composter back to the base already, so we'll borrow that for now. Can always make more a little bit later, but not too worried about it right this second. And let's see, a composter, jukebox, dispenser. There were no dispensers, were there? No, of course not. Right, good thing we can make those pretty easy. Make our bow. That. There's our dispenser that we can make. There we go. Get our redstone there, that's good. Then we're gonna make some trapdoors as well. So we got some dust left over. We want a lever. We're gonna put away this ink sac, composter, jukebox, dispenser, slabs, amethyst shards. music disc. Armor stand. That's going to be another bit too that we need to finagle as well. So let's go ahead and borrow some coal from some of these furnaces. Oh, right, we've already actually got some. We don't need to smelt that yet. Put that in there. We'll let that smelt up, and then in the meantime, we will go ahead and drop everything else off on there. I don't have any music on right now because I do need to kind of sit down and think for a little bit, so it's a little bit duller than normal, but that's alright. Not that it was that exciting to begin with, I guess. Let's see here. Composter, jukebox, dispenser, slab, button, amethyst shards, breeding, our music disc, water bucket, which is going to go there because we also need like a spare water bucket to be used just with this farm. And then all of our other bits that we're personally going to be using. And then we also need to coat the outside blocks with deep slate. That's kind of the other deal with this. We basically need to make a solid box of deep slate here. Make sure this goes down deep enough as well. Here we go. And then in terms of what this looks like, it's 2 blocks deep with 1 hole in the bottom. So this is 3 blocks deep. All right, we need to place our bed here real quick too. Also need to keep in mind that we need a spot for the allays to go into as well. All right, so let's just go ahead and keep it simple and just carve out all the sides for now. I'm thinking about it too hard again. There we go, that'll do all the corners, and then this is where the allay would go. There we go, so the allay would go in there. We would have a simple spot for a dispenser here. This is where we would feed in our potions. We would have a hopper there, and then a barrel or a chest here to fill in a bunch of potions, and then our button goes here. And then we have our lever there, along with our dust. Because we also need to set up the trapdoor portion of all this as well. There we go. We got all that in. Put that away, put that away. Basically, whenever we flip it, it would create a flush wall there that we can do whatever with. So that works out pretty well. Got our last trap door that we would put there. And then our glass would go and a ring around the sides or whatever, so that would be fine. We can put that away for now. And then we would basically need to dig out a 5x5 in this area. And of course we need to layer all of the sides around it as well with deep slate, so that way nothing breaks out. And luckily we got some extra iron here, so that'll help too. I'm going to go ahead and flatten this out as well to our full 5x5. I knew how to count to 5 apparently. That's alright, we'll get it one day. This is the 5th part that we're looking for, so we'll go ahead and mine this out. Again, I'm just going to have to replace the wall so it hardly matters. Alright, perfect. So that's our full 5x5 there that we're looking for. And then this is going to be our drop chute here that we want. This is where we're going to have it. And then we would also have a spot there for another dispenser that points up. And then we're going to pillar out here for a little bit. Use cobblestone as like a temporary block. And we'll kind of just go through and take out some bits and pieces as needed. We got some more iron we can cook up here too, so this should kind of help keep us going. And then we need another dispenser, so we need a little bit more string. It's like most of our glass is done too, luckily. That's good. That. And some of that. There we go. Because we do need the extra iron for some hoppers and things. We need enough wood for a barrel too. So we've got enough pale oak here that we should, or regular dark oak, excuse me. Can't make a barrel yet because we don't have enough wood, right? There we go, we got that. And we'll go ahead and make an extra chest. So we can make a hopper. There we go, we can make a hopper now. And then with this, we can make our stone slab for an armor stand, which is just going to be a bunch of sticks. There we go. Put that away. Got our armor stand. There we go. Now if we put anything in the barrel, it should fall down into the dispenser, which it does. So when we get our potions, we can go ahead and just dump them in the barrel. They go on down, and then we're pretty much good. And then from there, all we're really trying to do is make sure we would have access to whatever we need going on down there. I forgot to bring over some more deep slate tiles and make another pickaxe, as this one is definitely going to break by the time we're done. So we're going to need to do that. We're also going to want a fence gate for this, and specifically a fence gate. Let's see here, gate, yeah, there we go, there's our gate. We specifically want a fence gate because it turns from a not solid block, but like a block with a hitbox to no hitbox at all when it's hit with a lever. And that ends up being pretty important for actually getting them down properly. So we want to make sure that we can take advantage of that. Go ahead and make some more tile. There we go. Leftovers, leftovers. Got some extra glass we can snag too. Put that in there. Extra stone. Hay bales, which we will give them something a little cheaper to use, so that way we don't waste a bunch of hay bales on stuff. There we go. Shovel's getting ready to break here, but we can dig enough gravel with our fist that honestly I'm not too worried about it, so I'm not going to think too hard about it. And then it basically turns into we need to trim out the sides. And hopefully we got that lever. Nope, we don't. We'll be able to make a lever here really quick, so I'm not too worried about it. There we go. Right, okay. That goes there. Make a lever. Goes away in there. There we go. Down our bed. Need to go sleep here soon. Guess we'll carve out a little bit more in the meantime. I didn't make another dispenser, so a bit unfortunate there that I forgot about that again. That's alright. Let's just go ahead and try and sleep when we get the chance. There we go. That was gonna break. There it is. We're gonna block that off. And then we're gonna block this off. We're gonna trim this. My pickaxe to break any second now. Right, there we go. There it is. Shit, I didn't make a new one. Oh, good thing we can make a stone one. That's alright, that'll hold us over for now. Not too worried. Means we'll make a stone shovel too. I know we're still using stone tools, but whatever, it's fine. Let's see here. And then we're gonna fill this in as well with solid blocks. Let's take that back real quick. And that gives us a spot to open it up at, so that's nice and good. And then we're basically going to have an area back here for viewing, so that way we can see what's going on, and it looks a little nice, so that way it's not just an empty black box that I can't see anything through. Alright, and then this is our corner where water is going to go, so we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our glass is going to go here. This gives us a nice little viewing area to work with as well. And then from here, what we can go ahead and do is dig on up a little bit, put down a ladder, and I mean, we can put down a trapdoor. We'll probably just make a birch trapdoor real quick. We'll keep it nice and simple. That's where we go. And then this turns into a spot for us to get in and out as we need. And we're also gonna dig out a route here as well, where our dispenser would go. This is where our dispenser would go. And we would need direct access to it, so we're gonna do all that. We're gonna dig out to our ladder here. Put that in. And then, just to be safe, I'm gonna make a couple more. A few more tiles, and then we're also going to carve out all the sides again. And we're gonna line this whole thing with tiles, going all the way around. And, we'll put a door in, because why not? There we go. And then again, we would have that there. And then that gets us a spot to put in our dispenser when we're ready for that. Which we're not ready for quite yet. I'm gonna put that there too. So basically, if we flip that lever by accident and they come down here, it'll be okay because it'll all be sealed in. So that way there's no chance of anything really bad happening, other than it just being like a minor inconvenience for a second. Then we would get another dispenser, we could do whatever, and then the idea is that we have a ladder that goes down to where the slime chute would be, where they die from fall damage after being dropped down hard enough, and then they basically drop down onto a block which would kill them and spawn a bunch of slimes. And in fact, I could probably have them fall into pointed dripstone to make sure that we can kind of get that out of the way a lot quicker. So we'll have them fall into pointed dripstone, they explode into two large slimes, which then get pushed out and around to the sides. Um, and then they immediately fall down a good couple of blocks. I think they need to fall out of like a 5 by 5 by 5 area or something, otherwise the new silverfish won't spawn anymore. And then those slimes then fall to their death from there. And then we can like beat them to death with whatever we have. So it's mainly just funneling them into a couple of chutes at some point, and then once they're in those chutes, just devising a way to kill them, hopefully with looting 3, because I was able to get 3 stacks of slime balls without any form of, or not 3 stacks, 3 stacks of slime blocks, not even balls, so just whole blocks without looting, and then with looting I can only imagine it would go to be much bigger. So yeah. Let's go get that other dispenser for now, real quick, just to make sure that we can get that kind of wrapped up and we don't have to think about it as much. We basically can get it to a spot where it's just all ready to go. That's kind of what the goal is for today. So we'll go ahead and get our bow, because we won't be able to use it until we get a hold of some infestation potions, which means we have to go to the nether first. That's kind of the only trade-off with that, is we have to go to the nether, and it's not the end of the world, it's just a little annoying. We're also going to take some snow blocks, as those are going to act as our blocks that we're going to give to our allays. I forgot what I was thinking for a second there, sorry about that. There we go, let's make some of that. And let's make our second dispenser there. There we go. Put away our redstone. Go ahead and get this put into place real quick. It shouldn't take too long. We'll just pop on in here. And boom. And we can do that. See how it all flows cleanly from one corner to another. And additionally too, we don't need a full block for those allays to be on, we just need a slab. So we're gonna go ahead and make that happen as well. So we're gonna go ahead and put a block there as our temporary block. Grab that. But this gives us just a little bit more headroom to work with once we kind of get through some of that. So that way they're not getting all bunched up on the block as often, so that should be fine. We'll put some torches down just to have them there. Another torch there. We can seal that off. And then otherwise, we can flip that out. And then it's really just getting them in place, right? We have the shards, we had the music. It should just be a matter of getting the allays in place from now on. Which we can definitely do because they're all right there and they're very easy to learn. So we got 4 of them we can work with. I think I'm going to just start with 2, and I'm going to keep 2 of them in there just to be safe, because if something happens and they all die, we'll at least have 2 of them to act as backups in case we need more. I don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket here. And once they're in, so I don't want to take the time to lure them back out or anything. But let me go ahead and pull up that video, because I need to see how they're being caught. So it's literally just temporary block out to the side. That would let us put down our slab. So we got our block there. We're going to flip that so that way they're all sealed in. Temporary block there. We got our slabs. And then we're going to get our snow blocks here. I'm going to C2. I'm going to leave 2 of you here with that. crap. Great, this is another bit that's gonna annoy me pretty greatly, isn't it? Yeah, that guy came out real fast. Good. You fucking doo-doo head. I'm gonna beat you in your sleep, man. Come on. Seriously. Seriously, get the snow guys out. Go. Shoot. Wait, what am I doing this for? I literally just need to catch 2 of them. Alright, whatever. Perfect. Alright, we got 2 of them there. Alright, so they go in there as far as I'm aware. That should be fine. Let's double check. Yep, so they're caught. And then, yeah, we literally would just need to breed them up from there. Okay, good. You get to stay there with your little hay block, just so that way we can keep you separate. We can put down our jukebox there, and our music disc. Alright, so we're at 4. I think we need 24 in total to do it. So basically we'll go from 4 to 8, 8 to 16, and then we'll have to partition this out a little bit better. So we need exact numbers here. So we have 4. Let me double check the cramming limit. 24. Alright, it's 24. We already have 4 in there, so we want 20 to breed up the rest. So even if we don't breed them exactly, we only have the fixed 20 that we need. So that's good. And we can take some time to clean up our inventory again now that we're pretty much all good there. We're also going to run into an issue where we're going to end up trying to give, I think I'm going to try and give all of them snow blocks to make things a little bit easier on myself, hopefully. So that way we don't give them any of our leftover shards and then we lose track of what's going on. Because if we, as soon as we lose track, things are going to start getting a little bit more annoying. And we don't need it to be like perfectly optimal, you know, we don't have to have all 24 in there exactly and all that kind of deal. It's just easier to do. And again, it does give you more XP if you do it, so it can't hurt to take a little bit of extra effort to push it that much farther, so. And then, let's see here, we can leave everything else intact for now. I don't really have any other gripes, so yeah. Because otherwise, we would basically just have our composter in the center with our composter goes there with our armor stand, glass blocks all the way around, and then that would officially jumpstart the farm. So then we would be able to do whatever, and then once we got oozing, then we could convert them. But then that just means we would have to work on the drop shoot and then just bide our time over the next couple of minutes. So yeah, that's pretty good. We're keeping those there for now. I'm gonna split up my chest. We're gonna split our chest here just to make sure we can keep things separated a little bit better. Just as we're working. And then we're gonna take some time to, I don't know. I guess we can cut down some of the trees or something, or hey, now that most of these carrots are done. Oh, I forgot my fortune hoe, damn it. Oh well, that's alright. There we go, we got that. We'll slowly start growing out our carrots, that should be good. You've got those there. And then most of our oak trees should be pretty well grown too, so we're going to take some extra time to get in here and cut down some of these logs. Looks like we hit some kind of natural limit with them, so it's good to take the time to cut this down now. Because this also doubles into the fencing that we're going to need, so that works out. I wish there was a way to force, oh, maybe there is. There should be a way to force the big trees from spawning. Because I really don't want any of the super tall, like, oak trees. I just want, like, a bunch of these normal, like, 4 or 5 block tall ones. So that way we get, like, a solid chunk of wood. Because otherwise it gets a lot more annoying to take everything down, so the less cleanup we have to do with that, the better. And it also looks like these birch trees aren't fully growing how I was expecting them to, so we'd have to get some extra oak saplings and have a different spot for birch growing anyways. Which I don't really need because we have that birch forest down below, so it works out fine enough, but it is still nice to think about. And see, that's where most of our other issues are going to lie, is cleaning that up now, so that's going to be the fun part, is getting up there to do all that. Especially just given the sheer amount that's up here, so yeah, we'll tear through and get what we can, but probably can't get it all. Damn, it's already been an hour, huh? And it's 2 in the morning. That's fun. Probably keep going for about another 3 hours or so. I got some stuff I gotta get done today. So I'm gonna be busy for most of the day. Damn. I keep doing that. Keep just falling through everything. That's alright. We got pretty much everything else, so we'll take some of these back as extras for now and be happy with what we got. Try and sleep in a regular bed too. There we go. Kinda curious what day are we at. We're on day 58. Wow, so we're coming up on the 100-day mark pretty fast here already. Let's go and get all that put away. 2 stacks of logs out of that, and then some, so that's pretty good. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and get some of those put away. There we go. Extra deep slate stuff we don't need right this second. Still on a bunch of stone tools, unfortunately, so we do need to keep an eye on that. And then, yeah, we're really just gonna take some time to fence everything up finally. I left my crafting table out by the XP farm. That's alright. Let's make another one. There we go. Keep it simple there. Same there as well. Keep that nice and simple. And then we'll just do it up to something like that. I think that's fine. Here we go. You can see even with all the stuff we went through and we mainly cut off, there's still a bunch of wood up there we'd have to get. So we'll try and let these decay a little bit more, and then we'll come back a little later to pick up some of the rest. But for now, let's head back over to the farm and get out some of our snow blocks and make sure that these guys have snow blocks. They don't want to move, which I understand, but I wasn't asking, unfortunately. There we go. That's also another simple little trick you can do to get things going. No, there were two in there. There's a third. They'll regen, it's okay. So we got a sharp person again. Alright, there we go. So we got 16 left. Which we will go ahead and split back up. We got some spares. There we go. That can go back in there for now. That puts us at 8 total, I believe. So we have 16 more that we get to go do when they're ready to go. And then, yeah, we'll have that done. Might also finally be time to make a better storage system. Or at least adding more chests, because we are seriously starting to crunch on space here pretty bad, so that's no good. Put that away. There we go. Do that. Got our fences. And we're gonna make another pickaxe and shovel. We'll make another axe another time. Don't need to worry about that for right now. Go ahead and make another torch. then I guess since we've got enough stuff now, we'll try and let's see here. I guess we can try and get into the nether real quick. We'll have to be a little mindful, but yeah, we'll pop into the nether real quick, see if we can do anything there. I think it's about time. We can always move our portal at a later date too, so as long as we're careful the first time going in, we can always come back. And hey, we even got some pointed dripstone out here. That's a very good find. Powdered snow. Okay, just saw something fall up there. Mostly intact portal, that's always good. Got a skeleton up here, but we've got prot 4, so we should be able to get a little bit more done. Alright, good. We got plenty of torches, so we don't need to be stingy here or nothing. Just need to make sure that all this is lit up nice and safe. And we also need to make sure not to break our feet in with these pointed dripstones, so looks like most of this is pretty safe though, which is very good. Yeah, we've got like the odd room here or there, but most of this seems to be pretty well lit up already, or at least it's physically closed enough where nothing can really spawn. So this should make our jobs a little bit easier. We're also going to take the time to take out some of these extra bits of iron here and there. And I mean, yeah, this is just a natural crack that forms with it. We'll light it up a little bit more, but we got most of it already. So it's perfectly safe during the daytime. It's just during nighttime, of course, that it obviously get a little bit sketchier, but that's, you know, to be expected because it'll be nighttime. We got a little bit more over here we can light up. And deal, we're just kind of going through some of the different sides. And we seriously need to quit doing that. There we go. All right. Grab a couple of extra stalagmites and stalactites. There we go. Pickaxe, yep, it is gonna break. And we got enough pointed dripstone to be useful, so hey, good. It's good to get. This portal is literally only missing 2 blocks, well, 1 block really, and then I'd have to replace the other one, which it conveniently comes with. Sharpness 3, breaking, yep, alright, so some fine stuff. Nothing too stellar, however. And we're basically just going to sit here and mine this with an iron pickaxe for a while. It's also really hard to tell how far along it is breakage wise, so it may be here a bit. I don't want to spend the diamonds on a diamond pickaxe quite yet. I think we're getting pretty close. There we go. Obsidian, obsidian, and we've got a completed portal just like that. Which we're not going to do anything with yet. Because we need to sleep first. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and sleep first. We got our portal that we can use. This will at least get us started. And then we're gonna write down our nether portal coords, which is gonna be negative 24034, negative 942. And basically what we're gonna do is pray that we don't get murdered or spawn in a stupid fucking dangerous spot. Uh-oh. Okay. Seems like we're in a pretty safe spot here, so that's good. We're gonna take the time to seal all of this off. I should have maybe picked the other side to seal. Fortunately, it looks like we have spawned near a soul sand valley, which, hey, may not actually be that bad if we can get a hold of a happy ghast. That would certainly be something. Alright, we've got a nice solid box of cobblestone. We should keep our portal pretty safe so we don't have to worry about hardly anything. And then we're gonna go ahead, dig into here a little bit. Yeah, we'll do that. Now the reason you want to have a turn like this as well is you can't get directly shot by like a ghast fireball. Just so that way we've got that extra little bit of security to go through. We'll take out the floor as well. We don't have any extra wood. I really need to fix that at some point. And we'll replace this all with cobblestone. Put that down there. And yeah. So we've got easy access to a tiny itty bitty little bit of lava. And then we can go ahead and write down our matching coords that we need. Matching is going to be negative 3017, negative 126. And then, just curious, just out of curiosity, I don't even see any fossils. Blaze crackles, wait a minute. What the fuck, are we near a fortress already? There shouldn't be any blaze noises unless we're near a fortress. There's a fossil, but no. Wow, huh, what are the odds, man? Shit, that's a great find. We'll come back here another time. We have a nether fortress directly below our nether portal. This is a really just that good of a spot to be in. Wow. Very nice. Cool. Alright, so we got a nether portal set up. We can go in and out of the nether freely now. And once we take some extra time, we can get a hold of some blaze powder and try and make a converted blaze farm. That's something we're going to have to do as well at some point. Whoops, we want that. Get rid of most of that though. I can go there, that away there. This is valuable, so we're going to tuck that away there. Golden horse armor, don't really care about. Some rocks. I didn't go there. I meant to put that there. That goes there. We got 2 of those. Got a decent chunk of gold to start us out with, so that's nice. And then, yeah, that'll get us a good little bit of stuff to get us going. And then we're gonna take some time here again, since it should have been long enough by now. So we should only need 8 and 8, because there's only 8 in there. Get them to dance. Now he's in there. That. Alright, so we've only got 8 more that we need to do, so that's very good. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and carve out just a little bit of extra space too. We'll try and take some time to spruce this area up for a couple minutes so we can have a nice enchantment area. I'm gonna outline this with cobblestone because I can. Whoops. A little bit too far down. There we go. Let's go get some of those amethyst blocks that we've been holding on to. Sun's getting ready to set here in a couple, so keep an eye out on that. There we go. And then all we gotta do is get our little enchantment table there. That should be fine. Just to line it up a little bit neater. And then we're gonna get some dirt to fill in that little extra bit of space, which hey, found some. There we go. And then yeah, we got a nice clean area to work with. That'll be pretty good. And we can go ahead and sleep. I think a bunch of our wheat is ready too, so we'll have to take some time to harvest some of that, breed out some of the sheep and cows with it as well. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Let's just keep it simple and go ahead and get our bookshelves and our enchantment table, which is right there. There we go. There we go. Perfect. And yeah, we can get level 30 enchantments. Cool. Efficiency 4. Don't care. Hey, yep. Alright, they're pretty bad. We don't really care until we get fortune, by the way. That's kind of the rule of thumb for a lot of these things. So, yeah. We're also going to need to make a grindstone real quick. We should have some leftover stone that we can use, I believe. Nope, because we had smelted it all into smooth stone. Just out of curiosity, can we use these? Nope. We'll have to smelt another batch of stone real quick. Let's go ahead and pop just 8 of those in there. Pop one of those down. There we go. And let's go ahead and cook up another batch of iron. Get another pickaxe. There we go. And what does it make to make lanterns again? 8 nuggets to make 1 lantern, not 1 and 2. Okay. That's going to take a little bit more time than I would like. That's alright. We can get that when we get that. But for now, let's go ahead and go pick out some of the wheat while we're waiting. I may try my hand at building custom trees instead of just growing them and hoping for a good one. I saw a pretty neat one that had like a spiral pattern with like a spruce tree that I want to try and build, but you know, I'm going off of memory for something like that because I don't remember really where I saw it from. So, but that is something that is worth trying. Yeah, it's already 2:30. It's been over an hour and a half. There we go. Yep, we got more than enough there. That should be fine. This back and away. We are out of space there officially, so we need to seriously take some time to get our sorting problem in check, because that's going to get me into a lot of trouble here pretty soon. But we're not going to worry about it right this second. We still have a lot of the ancient city that we can explore, so that's why I'm still making sure to keep up on all the wool. Let these guys live. And then, yeah, we got a nice little extra bit of wool out of that, so that's all good. Make a better axe as well. Alright, then we got our wool there, that's good. And yeah, we got a nice set of tools that we can use. Okay, well, that's no good. We're gonna have to fight that too real quick. We've got enough cobblestone, and luckily our place is pretty easy to defend, so it shouldn't be too bad. As soon as we hit one of them, they'll all be bad. Tell that I'm really good at those shooter games. We need to keep an eye on our health here. There we go. That was a little annoying, but we did get it in the end, so that's alright. That one did use up most of our arrows this time. Damn, Bad Omen 5, that's really good. We're gonna hold on to that for a while. I don't plan on using that for a good bit. Let's see here. I think we're in a spot to get the rest of these guys done real quick. 8 more. F3B for those hitboxes. Why don't we turn down jukeboxes as well for now? Or not? Damn. That song is loud as fuck, that is, even at 4%, it's still up there. It's kind of nuts. Come on, somebody definitely duplicated. You're in there somewhere, I know you are. You can't escape, there you are. Come on now. Come on now. There we go. Come on. Gotta be in here somewhere. There we go. Alright, we've bred our last one, so we are officially at capacity. And once we give the last one his snow block, wherever he might be, then we will be done with the areas. The farm will be operational once we get a hold of some infestation potions. I just took it from one of them. There we go. Done. So we can officially put a wrap on this. There we go. Get down our bed. And yeah, we've done it. We've built out a nice solid allay farm that we can do whatever with. I'm gonna go ahead and take all this stuff back with me for now. Except for maybe the chest, I think we'll leave those here. Yeah, we'll leave those there. Leave a crafting table there. Still need to make that grindstone and a couple other bits and bobs, but we've got a nice pretty LA farm. That'll look good. Looks like we were out in the field in the dark a little bit too long because we got a creeper out here in the field, so we need to go take care of this guy. I mean, we don't need to. He'll probably despawn on his own, but, you know, every little bit matters. I'm actually really lucky my sword didn't break as I was fighting it, because that would have completely screwed me. So, yeah, we lucked out there. We also need to stockpile on some gunpowder, because we need to make more TNT to break a hole through the nether roof at some point. And you can't do that without a lot of TNT, so the more we get, the better off we're going to be. Let's see our functional blocks. There we go. Doing pretty good now. Put the way in there. And then we really just need lapis, honestly, to jumpstart a lot of the different stuff with the XP farm. Not to mention blaze rods and things of that nature. And we've got some torches there. I think we're gonna take a quick trip back through the nether. And we're gonna see if we can't get some other stuff done. I really need to bring some extra wood with me. Why don't we do that real quick? Let's go ahead and grab some logs. And we'll just tuck them away in there for now. We'll also have to make sure we get that coarse dirt going too at some point. Something we haven't done yet. We should also build a path going up to this, so that way we don't have to drudge through the rest of the world as much. And yeah, we should be pretty much good. We need to combine with those other pairs of leggings that have mending on them at some point. Now, we have somehow gotten incredibly lucky, and somewhere below us is a nether fortress. I think we also need to be more careful than usual because of the basalt delta that we're digging here. I'm a little worried that we're going to dig straight in the lava. Blaze crackle, so we are still pretty close. To our left a bit more, I think. Okay. Alrighty. We're gonna put that away too before I fuck anything else up. Okie doke. That way's a dead end. So we're not gonna care too much about that. And somewhere out here we have a blaze spawner. He's out to our right. Damn, no rod from him. That's a bit annoying. We got a nice little patch of glowstone that we can use. And we got some early nether wart. I need to be a little mindful here. Yep, I had a feeling I heard him. Sounds like we got a magma cube nearby too. Oh, this is a nice safe dead end. Good. And this sucks. Alright, bad chest. But we did get some soul sand out of it, so hey, that's pretty well worth it. Not to mention the nether wart too, obviously, so always good to get a little bit extra. Now, luckily, and some brown mushroom, which is very good because we actually have kind of desperately needed that for a little bit. Especially after we spent our last batch all on the Learned It's Better as Renato was showing, so that'll get us going. F3B. Definitely up ahead a little bit more. Or not. Hey, I'll take it, I'm not complaining. We got some blazes straight ahead over there. And a magma cube. Which is great because I really want their, I want those slimes. I want that magma cream. There we go. So if we can get a hold of just a single blaze, then we'll pretty much be fine. Because we'll be able to make a fire resistance potion. We can take control of a blaze spawner and then we're good. So we got 2 magma cream out of this. We'll pull this over. Alright, well he's not going to play nice here. Damn, still no drops, huh? No, you can't have dream luck everywhere, right? Let's see here. I'll turn the rest of these into torches just to get things going. I'd rather not run out here, and there's definitely plenty of coal I can go snatch, so not too worried about it. Seal that up. Some extra gold there, that's nice, I guess. I'm gonna switch this out with my cobblestone to actually have full stacks there. Got some extra brown mushrooms that we can use for later, that's good. Alright, this way is pretty much a dead end, so it's all good to go through. A lot of these chests have sucked complete ass too. They're not even particularly good. Get some bones out of that guy though. Again, just gold. Like literally not even like a trim or a diamond or horse armor or anything, just basic gold. Damn. This has been a shitty fortress. As long as we get one blaze spawner out of it, which, you know, we definitely will, it'll all be worth it, honestly. This was a dead end, right? Yeah. It's just a dead end with the other shitty chest. So we've mapped out this whole bottom bit well enough. Okay, we've got a lot of wither skeletons here. Let's take a small detour back down to that one spot that we had seen. If you remember, so we got a blaze here. The blaze. Still no rod. Are we for real? You can hear him this way. I'm almost curious if there's an extension of the fortress out this way. It's probably up higher, so this is probably a bit of a waste of time. Let's see, we gotta find something somewhere though. That's solid. There's definitely something out over there. Oh, that's just the way I was before. It looks like it's down there. This may be a spot that we just come back to a little bit later. Alright, let's go ahead and try and get back out of here real quick with what we got. Let's be happy that we found a fortress for right now, and we'll get lucky enough at some point to finagle a blaze rod out of something. On the other hand, we definitely haven't been over here yet. Really just trying to keep an eye out for a spawner. The fact that spawners are gonna be really important no matter what I do. Okay. Crap. That hurt too, damn. Hopefully we can eat here. Dead end, I don't care about this way. Another dead end that we don't particularly care about. Alright, cool. Get a large cube out there. And another dead end. All these are freaking dead ends, man. Come on. We got some more nether wart out of that though, at least. That's always good, I guess. We're gonna keep an eye out throughout the windows to see if we got anything extra out there. We still got our spare set of tools, because we're gonna need them here pretty soon, at least for the pickaxe. This ought to get us a lot closer to where we want to be. Gotta be near a spawner room somewhere. Got a gas there. I think we're coming up on a spawner room. Or at least I really hope we are, because it's definitely what it's feeling like. Way's a total dead end, we don't care about. That way is a dead end even past that lava, so we don't care about that way either. Oh, I think I see one. Yep. let's just take some time to seal this off as best we can. Make sure we don't get obliterated by accident, but we did finally get a hold of the spawner that we were looking for. Killing this guy with an axe, I don't want to risk any sweeping or anything like that. Perfect. Yep. Okay. Pigman's in a bit of a bad spot there that I don't want to do. Fail. Seriously, how do these guys always manage to be in the way every time? It's not funny. Still no rod though. Seriously, these pigmen could just fuck off. Alright, we've definitely made a bit of a mess here, but that means that we have locked off everything that we needed to here. We got our first blaze rod finally, so we can brew some potions. Yep. Bye-bye. No, let's not chance it today. I think we're trying to push a bit too hard. We got the one rod that we're looking for. You fucker. Keep doing that every time. We got our one rod that we're looking for, and then we're gonna go ahead and take a note here of where we're at. So we're at negative 2951, 60, negative 123. So, and if we also take a peek at our book, we can kind of reverse this a little bit. So you can see based on our matching chords, we really just need to go in the negative X direction and then turn, which, believe it or not, we're already facing. Alright, there we go. That gets us a safe tunnel out. Dead end, dead end. -3017, -126. we're basically there already. Like, I'm pretty sure we'd have to make some minor adjustments, but we're like right within range of where a ladder would be. I also don't remember how high up the spawner was, or not the spawner, the nether portal was. But when we break through the surface here, we should basically be at it. I feel like it should be this high up though. Oh shit, nope, there's our cobble. Not to mention the portal. That spooked me a bit, I'm not gonna lie. Jesus, man. Oh, alright, I'm gonna break that. Had we dug just a little differently, we would have found that spawner a lot faster. I don't mind that it happened the way it happened, I just think it's kind of funny as all. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and block all that off. And we're gonna get our cobblestone. Oh, I missed one there. Also, make some gates. Rude. Really can't get in no more, at least that's fine. And then we're just gonna go ahead and break this on down. Make sure we get a clear way out of here in case something crazy happens. Which nothing odd at, but frankly, you never know. There we go, got a little bit of extra coal out of them with that too, so that's always good to have. And we'll just, you know, seal off some of these extra sides. We don't really need any access to them or nothing. Makes it very clear where we're supposed to go, and then what's waiting for us at the other end. Of course, right here is going to be our blaze farm that we're going to have at some point. Bad. Alright. Should tank that one off. Good. We got a couple more blocks out of that, so that'll keep us going for a little bit more time. And then yeah, we just need to lock that down at some point. But hey, we got our spawner, which is what we really wanted here, and we managed to snag a couple of rods. Now luckily, since I've been taking brewing stands from all the villages that I've been visiting, we've actually got enough already to just get that done, so we don't have to worry too much about that. We'll do that. There we go. Here. We'll put a torch down every so often. There we go. Sweet, so we've got a direct route to a blaze spawner that we can convert at some point in the near future. Should have thought about this coming back in. We really need to make sure that this place is safer in the future, because if it's nighttime and something's already spawned out here, I'm gonna die. So I would much rather prefer that to not be the case, but it is something worth noting. That being said, I get scared by that every time, just an armor stand. That being said, we definitely need a brewing area to kind of get a lot of this going. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to dig out, I think, a little bit here. We'll flatten it out to that dirt wall in the back, and then this will give us plenty of space for growing a bunch of nether wart, and then also double as a place for us to brew a bunch of our potions. So that way we can brew our infestation potions here, fuel the farm, do our enchanting, and then yeah, we have an XP, farm, enchanter, and brewing area all in one pretty nice spot. At least it looks nice enough, so that'll help. We'll partition it here is where I'm feeling. I'll even have 2 days left until I start moving, so that's going to be fun, or hopefully start moving. I'm still waiting to hear back officially on what's the deal with that, so that's going to be fun. But we'll get it when we get it. It's not too big a deal. Go ahead and get our bed down as well. Been over 2 hours. We got 40 soul sand to work with here. There we go. Perfect, we got enough there. Let's grab whatever brewing stands we got for right now. We got 5 actually, so that's more than plenty for what we need. And let's go ahead and grab some slabs and stairs too, because we're going to need those as well. Just gonna keep it simple, just line this whole back wall with brewing stands. Just a little something like that. There we go. Then as for an infinite water source, realistically what that's going to look like is just a little something like this, where you can go through and have just a little bit of extra water. There we go. Actually, we can take it a step further. And that way it'll look a little cleaner too. There we go. A little something like that. And that also gives us easy access for the brewing stands too, if we need to get in there and snag a little bit of water. Because all we literally need to do is just right click it with a bottle and then we're good. So we can get a chest there. And that means I can fill this part back up with just regular cobblestone to complete our path. There we go. Yeah, we got plenty of brewing stands we can work with. Those will be good. Got our crafting table. At some point we'll make a couple more chests to kind of, or a couple more brewing stands to go in there, but we don't need to do that for right now at all. And yeah, we're gonna go get some dirt, try and even that out a little bit more. I know I've been pretty quiet tonight, but to be fair, it is 3 in the morning and a little stupid right now. So it do what it do. Put those there for now. We can keep those safe. And yeah, we really need to focus more on storage for the time being. So we're gonna take our cherry logs, because I don't really care about them. And we're gonna turn up all the planks and turn up all the chests. Perfect, there we go. There, go 1, 2 there, go 1, 2 there. So now we've got a lot more storage we can work with here, so this should make things a little bit easier for us to manage. And we'll kind of just take some time to dot some chests around the world for some other bits and pieces. So we'll have like another one there, put one there, and then we don't really need any there. Oh, but you know what we do need it at though. Right here. Because this is where we're gonna have our oozing potions for the oozing portion of the farm. And then we don't really need, we've already got the barrel there, so we don't need any infestation. That's all good. We'll keep the extra ingredients in there, so that's fine. And then I guess we can throw a double chest like here, so it'll be for mixed crops. We'll keep one out in this area nearby. I think we'll put it... Ooh, we'll put it here. It seems like a great spot to have it. It's just close enough to just about everything, but it's out of the way enough to make use of some of the extra dead space that we got laying around. And then we'll have another double chest out by the sheep pen. So that way we can put our extra wheat, shears, and then wool, leather, and raw meat as well. So that way we can also double it for the cows too, so that'll be good. And we'll just put that bad boy, like, I want it in a spot where I could jump up and reach without having to get out, so there will be good. Also think we need to get another carpet and slap it in there. Yeah, our base is really starting to come together though. We got a good bit of farming for everything. Finally got our storage issues worked out a little bit better, and we're still not done yet though because we need to take some time to organize here a little bit. Which I have a feeling is going to take us a while. Got our dirt, gravel. There we go. Miscellaneous fucko stones that we have. Mob drops. And then we need to start organizing these as well. So again, plantables, things that we can plant are going to go in here. Flowers I'm going to put in their own little chest because I don't like them. Two. Make sure we sleep. Shadow. Oh, what are you doing, you knucklehead? Same deal with these. These can go in there. Redstone chest too. We'll have that nearby. Stackables. We're gonna go up in here. We're gonna try and keep them in a tight enough order here. Have like another chest in here. I don't know. I think we'll have our skulk bits in here too, because they're pretty few and far between. So I don't feel too bad about just tucking them in there. There we go. This is more of an ore chest, so that's why I'm taking out everything from here. We also need kind of like a generic valuables chest too, so we'll have to make some room for that at some point. Just keep them together in one spot for right now. Force armors together there. And then for something like this, we're just gonna throw these out. I'll keep the extra silk touch one though, just because I can. But we'll put it in there. We'll try and keep that together there too. Candles are there. Music disc. Different mob drops. Gonna go in their own respective spots. Something like that. There we go. Still got our carpet here and our wool for our various animal products. That's good. Let's see here. I think a log chest is going to be better in the long run, because of just how many we're going to end up using. Yeah, we'll do something like that for now. Extra little bit of wood. Plantables, which we still need to organize. And saplings / flowers. Do that. I need to get a birch sapling real quick, so we're going to go out there and go pick some of that up. try these out for now, or take these out. There we go. Alright, do that. And we're gonna look up a list of saplings. We're gonna go in order based on how the wiki has it. So we're gonna have oak, spruce, birch, jungle, because I'm guessing these are ordered that they were added by acacia, dark oak, cherry, pale oak. I know pale oak was a super recent one. I think mangrove came first, then cherry, and then that. So that's how we're gonna have it because our logs are gonna match it the same way. So oak, spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak. And then we used up all of our cherry and we don't have any mangrove. There we go. So that keeps all that together pretty well. And then flowers are gonna go in near the bottom here. We also need to compost these, so these aren't gonna be here forever. There we go. Bamboo is gonna fill up pretty fast. Let's see here. Pumpkins, melons, beetroot. Ugh, sorry, I almost vomited it just saying that. There we go. Yeah. There we go. And then we got our 2 tall flowers. And I guess our dandelions. We'll put the bushes and stuff in there too. Because this is something that I actually grow for stuff, and these are just flowers and shit that, yeah, you plant them, but it's not like the same thing. It's kind of arbitrary, but it makes sense in my head, I promise. Well, enough sense in my head. Alright, and then mob drops, we've got our blaze rods there. Also got the extra bits that were hanging out here. And then crop products, so I guess hay bales and wheat can go like that. No, because that kind of goes apart from the whole plantable thing. And then we'll do like glass, I don't know. We're almost done though. I do know that. Here's my nether section. Good. saplings, wood, other type of wood, other type of plantable, other type of wood, other type of plantable. And I think food's gonna be in the chest above, which is where we'll put like wheat and kind of weirder things like that and hay bales. Because that's a kind of food to me as far as I'm concerned, because I can turn it into food. Starting to turn nighttime. Hear that? There we go. All right. And then again, we've got, some generic valuables we'll tuck away at some point. Same deal. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Buy wood. Looks like we have no oak, but we do have birch. Those are nether bricks. That's not even purple. Whoops. There we go. Got our nether bricks. Anyways, back to putting stuff in here. Logs need to go in there. Planks, slabs, stairs, trapdoors, and then fences and signs or something. There we go. Paper is a bit more interesting here. I think about that too hard right now. Actively got to kill the animal to get it. That's kind of how I'm going here, and then it'll be like meat and then non-meats on the side. Things like wool and carpet can go their own itty bitty little bits. And we still have our various job blocks or function blocks there. That's a pretty foggy rain that we're gonna have to deal with for a while. But I think we're finally almost done with organizing. That weirdo stone. Need to make some grindstones too. And let's take some of those. We'll definitely need to expand out some of the stone bits a little bit later, but I'm not going to sweat that too much for right now. Basically, blocks, ingots, nuggets, and then raw block, raw thing, and then whatever another respective bits, like a golden apple, for example. I'd probably tuck away in there a little bit more. Also means we should keep this organized a slightly different way for our copper, because those are like proper bars that you smelt. Once you have iron, or diamonds and emeralds are just their mineral, and then their mineral block, so they're kind of negligible, because that gives us a more finite space that we can work in that we're looking for here, so that's good. There we go. I did say that I wanted to keep these kind of together a bit. There's my weird like valuables that I want to keep a hold of separately. There's no rhyme and reason to any of these, basically. It's just things that I deem as valuable to some extent that I don't have a lot of. Even if it's something funky like fire charges, where objectively they're not that valuable, but they're still kind of odd. So I like keeping them on a spot I can get to. That's where our flint is going to go, next to our gravel, which we will put on the edge there. Got more wildflowers. Composter. You can always come back to these a little bit later. Handles too, since we don't get a lot of those. Totally not an excuse for me to just be able to throw them out. Ladders down there at the bottom. Just to get those out of the way too for right now. And then I think we're gonna make a whole lot of nothing because we don't actually have the iron for it. We'll also take our excess sand out of here and we'll tuck it in with the snow. So snow and glass and sand are kind of all in the same family tree as far as I'm concerned personally, so that's kind of why I leave them together. And then yeah, we're basically just gonna compost a bunch of these that I don't really have a use for them otherwise. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get all these kind of turned into bone meal. That way we can get them out of our inventory. Kind of zoning out here mentally, which is why I'm not really saying anything. It's taking me a while to get some of this filled in, but yeah, it's fine. 3:36 already, dang. Yeah, this is definitely taking a while, but it's gonna be worth it though. Once we get a hold of some more iron, this will be a lot easier because then we can actually make more hoppers and automate this in the future as we're kind of doing some more cleanup. But, you know, get out of the way once now, we don't have to worry about it again for a long time. And we'll save the last stack as well, just to have it. Let's see here. We got our flowers. Keep those in there. We'll condense these back up for now. Then we got some extra bone meal we can work with. We'll keep paper in there too. We're gonna go put our grindstone down. After we take this back, that is. So we still have a couple of chests that are multifunction, but for the most part everything's kind of where it needs to be. So that's pretty good. We'll put in a smithing table at some point here. Not too worried about it right this second. And then I think too we're due to make some kind of roof here as well. I think realistically what we do is we build a pillar up, that flattens that out, and then we get to level it with whatever we want. So just as long as there's a roof kind of going over that and it closes everything in a little bit nicer. Then otherwise, yeah, we're pretty much golden, so we got a lot of space and a lot of stuff. We're doing pretty good on the base. We can't really do anything with the actual, like, big base until we get efficiency tools and things of that nature, because it literally will just take too long to dig out. And it's a massive, like, resource investment in terms of, like, iron and stuff like that, if I don't do it that way, so that kind of just is what it is, unfortunately. Cool, carrot farm's done too now. That's nice. Just haven't made any campfires yet, so we may have to work on that soon. We're gonna sleep first though before we worry about any of that, just to be safe. Then, yeah. I'm gonna stack that up for now. Go. There we go. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and harvest the sugar cane while we're at it. We don't really need this much for basically anything except for villager trading out in the future. Well, that's just more to jumpstart librarians to make sure that their trades get locked in once we get a trade that we like. So that's not quite the same thing as far as I'm concerned. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get enough for another pickaxe here. Also, we're running pretty low, actually super low on like coal, which is not good. And we'll put that away there. That out. There we go. Got our double bucket. Extra hose. We really need either fortune or something. Or really we just need to, if we can get some lapis, we could start enchanting here very soon, which would be very ideal, so yeah, we're gonna have to start grinding on that. But for now, let's just head down into the world and go strip mine for some diamonds. I don't want to go back into the ancient city right this second, so we're not going to worry about that for now. Would have worried about getting a couple more torches, though, frankly. I think it's time to. We may need to take a trip up into the mountains and just stockpile on coal and iron, fortune or not. I think it's time to do that, honestly. I know I just came down here, but I think we're really not going to get by without it for right now, so. We're gonna sit here and I'm gonna be right back, so give me a moment. And we're back. So yeah, as I was saying, we're really just trying to get some iron here, and we need a lot of it because we don't really have enough iron. Yep, everything's still good. Everything's still loading. There we go. Let's see too. When it comes to our food, we're gonna need pork chops here as well. So let's go ahead and get those filled in. Yeah, we need iron and coal and a lot of it at that. So we're gonna take the horse. Make sure we got our extra tools, and we're gonna go up. Maybe we're gonna leave them because I think I'm gonna start going into some of the powdered snow bits. So let's make a pair of leather boots first. Then we'll switch those in and out as we need. But yeah, we're basically just gonna go up and through a lot of this stuff. And looks like we're coming up on it. There we go. Oh, we got an Arctic fox. He's up here. Look at him go. But yeah, we're just gonna go through and we're gonna grab and smash a lot of this coal and iron. So we are well overdue for a decent chunk of it. I am lagging a decent bit here, which I don't much appreciate. Yeah, we want to try and leave as much of the landscape alone as possible because these are the mountains that I actually take time to look at, so we don't want to just tear through a bunch of everything and make too many holes in weird spots. Want to try and pick out stuff on this side of the mountains. The mountains. There we go. But yeah, today I got a patio I need to finish building and some college work I need to get done too. And then I gotta try and send an email out to a professor to see if I can figure something out for the some of the other stuff I got going on. So I'll have to ask him about that. I got an exam coming up here in a couple weeks that if I'm physically not in the class for, then because I might not be able to make it there because of my new job now, I need to ask about taking it online or whatever I gotta do, or if I have to take it the weekend before everybody else does or something. But as long as I can take the exam, then I'll take it. However, I gotta take it on a weekend or something. So we'll see. We also don't want to try and go too overboard with taking a bunch of iron and coal here because again, we're really going to get more mileage out of this once we get a hold of Fortune 3. So I would much rather wait for that versus trying to, you know, take everything out of the mountain and then I get Fortune 3 and nothing's left in the mountain to use Fortune on. So, you know, we'll mine off this little vein on coal and we're probably okay. And hey, actually we're level 30 now, so if we get a hold of some lapis, then we can get some pretty good stuff done. We could hopefully get Fortune. Sounds like we got a zombie in a cave nearby. Trying to see what we got going on for our base here. It's looking pretty nice. Yeah, I might still have my stuff at 32. That's why it's lagging. Oh, look. I mean, yeah, you can just see how far a lot of this stuff stretches out for. So, again, we've got a lot of space way out over here in this birch forest. So we got a lot of birch wood we can use. We can go over to that mountain range for some other stuff. But basically, everything in this little grassy plain area with some of the snow in the back is what we can use without dipping into the mountains too hard. So they act as a good natural like land barrier to keep a lot of stuff out. And then it just looks cool as fuck to have like a base nestled in like a thing of mountains here like this, you know? It's just cool. And our farm area is looking pretty nice though with the pathing. It really sticks out in a good way and looks good from above. We're blocked out a bit by some of our trees, but it's a nice clean area. You can see out in the distance too are hay blocks. So you can kind of get an idea of how big this base is going to be when it's all fully done. And again, what the heights that we're talking about here, if we're at Y214 up here, I'm expecting to have this thing go up to like 300 basically. Like I want this thing to go up super duper high. So it'll be towering like even 100 blocks above all this so we can physically look out across a lot of the land around us. And I'm thinking about building it okay, because we can either build it like a birthday cake, right, where it's obviously biggest layer at the bottom and then smallest layer at the top, and then we can do, you know, your black stones and your deep slates for your bottom layer, and then go from dark to light, or we could do light to dark, depending on how we're doing. I think if we do light to dark as well, well, no, because the height we'd have to work out, light to dark would still actually blend in, so dark to light also makes more sense anyways to do, like, it feels more right, you know? Like you want to go from dark at the bottom to light at the top because otherwise it just feels kind of wrong. But then I also am considering building it as like a top heavy bit where it's actually the skinny part at the bottom and then the taller parts at the top going from dark to light. But at the same time, that's definitely going to look super weird and top heavy in a way that's just not going to make a lot of sense. So I think we had a winning idea at the start where it's literally just big layers like a birthday cake, bottom to top, and then dark to light. And then I think we can just keep it simple with that and not think too hard about it. Because the harder we think about it, the more we're going to psych ourselves out, and then the worse off we're going to be in the long run because we'll have made too many weird changes halfway through without committing to one vision. That's another thing with a lot of things in life. You got to get out there and commit sometimes every once in a while, you know? You don't have to hard commit to everything, but there are a couple things, you know, you got to pick your battles for that you've got to really just be like, this is it. I'm not changing. This is what I want. And then you do it, and then you see how you do from there, you know? But we got some extra iron out of that, so that's all good. That'll kind of keep us going here for a little while longer. That's all we need it for. We'll go ahead and get some of the extra iron in there too and smelt that up as well. There we go. Perfect. And as that is cooking, we're pretty much good. We'll put our other boots up in here. We'll need them later, I'm sure. Here's our snow blocks and our cobblestone. Regular coal, which we'll bundle away in there for now. The logs that we'll bring. And then, again, we can't really do a lot until we get a hold of some lapis, so I guess we are kind of just stuck mining down in the world until we get a hold of some extra lapis. Just not a nice way around it, unfortunately. So, that being said, we're going to go back down. Now that we got some extra iron cooking, we can take our 6 that we had left over, and that'll cover us for 2 pickaxes, which will be more than plenty in addition to our current one that we got. So don't have to worry as much about that. And hopefully we can get some lapis, maybe get some more iron, diamonds along the way as well. And then we'll just kind of get what we can. But yeah, we've got one route we can go through. you. That's definitely very annoying. Got some more torches to keep us going here for a little bit. Go 2 blocks in. You have immediately hit a gravel patch that will slow us down tremendously. Awesome. Oh, we got some diamonds. That's good. I kind of don't want to touch them without fortune for right now. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to get a hold of some of that lapis as well. We're gonna be stuck with that for a long time. We're stuck on getting that. Which kind of stinks. Hopefully we don't end up pissing off any shrinkers or anything, because that's obviously never fun. Let's just dig around these two just to see how big this is. Not particularly big by the looks of it, it's just 2. Oh, that's a shame. Yep, just the 2. Definitely a bit of a shade there. That's alright. Yeah, we got some redstone. Haven't had too much of that down here yet. Pickaxe is getting ready to break here, so let's go ahead and make some of those extra tools. There we go. There goes that one. Man, it's been 3 hours and it's already 4 in the morning. And we got some more diamonds, which again, don't really want to touch until I get some lapis. Although it's pretty annoying that I can't find any lapis to get anything better, so that stinks. There's a certain point that we're gonna hit where we're gonna have enough diamonds laying around that we can just take some of them to make a diamond pickaxe. Or rather, we can use the ones that we've been holding on to since we've started to make a diamond pickaxe. And then with that diamond pickaxe, then we can mine for more diamonds and hopefully lapis, and then we can save the actual ores until we get fortune. No, it's more than one this time, but that's still not exactly saying much, unfortunately. Bit of a shame. But hey, we're getting a nice amount of deep slate out of it. We're still finding some extra goodies, so that's alright. Don't have to get it all done in a day or nothing. Although we've been doing this for a while already. It's day 67 in game, which, considering I just started this world like 3 days ago or 4 days ago, it was definitely after September 1st because it was after the month had already started. So that's kind of incredibly cursed, I'm not gonna lie. Really want all of this trailer stuff that I'm going through to move my place to work out, so that way I can just move on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I start my new job, and then I'm pretty much just there for the rest of the week working, and then I do a lot better. And then I can ask them about how a 410 split would work. I don't think I can do it while I'm on probation. I'm pretty sure it's just a standard 9 to 5. Now, if I'm lucky and I can get that, then that'll solve pretty much all my issues, is that I can drive back to my hometown on Mondays to go to college, and then Tuesdays through Fridays I can keep working. So I think I'll just explain the situation a little bit, where I was already in the middle of taking a college course to start prepping for my master's. And basically, I'm in that course every Monday. So hearing about that 410 split was a very nice deal. You know, I can choose obviously not to attend lectures, which is fine. But when it comes to a couple of key dates, so your exams and the presentation, I don't really have as much of a choice there, so I'd have to work something out with them just to be a little bit more flexible. So whether that means, I don't know, working, I can't even really work remote because I'm on probation, so a lot of it's relationship building, but I don't want to just take the days off because, you know, I don't A, have days off on probation, and B, that seems like that'd be such a bad thing to do. So I'm really hoping that and we can keep it simple, and it's literally just 410 split right out the gate, as long as I'm physically there for everything else, and then otherwise I can go to class, because that would really make my day, so I don't have to stress so much about missing school and everything like that. And it's also a good thing to build early too, just because I'm gonna be doing that as either way. So even if I don't do it straight away, when I'm able to start doing a 410 split, then I'm gonna be going to college on Mondays anyways. So I'll build it early, I guess. That's what I'm doing. And I guess realistically, it's not the end of the world if I have to take this class again, but honestly, I really don't want to, because that'll make it like the third time I'm taking this course, and I'm just tired of waiting on it. So I'd rather get it done this semester. It's also costing me another $600, so I'd rather just get it done and hopefully not have to worry about this in the future, because it's also the only thing holding up my degree as well. So that's the other thing that's very annoying, is that it's just this one stupid ass class that's holding me back. That I've had a very bad professor from the first time that wouldn't fucking grade or explain anything, and then it pretty much just snowballed from there into, well, I can't pass or make a decision if you won't grade anything, so the best thing I can do is drop out. And it's like, come on. Like, that's just lame at that point, you know? But hopefully here it'll be a lot better. And if not, I can always take it with them, I guess, during the spring semester, which again, I really don't want to have to do, but this professor has been pretty good, so I'm hoping he'll be able to work with me just a little bit here to get something planned out in case of these exams. But I do want to get in there and learn. I liked learning from him when I was there a couple weeks ago before Labor Day, but it's just tough not knowing what's going on exactly with work, so that's kind of the dilemma that I'm at. And either way, not having my bachelor's is going to disqualify me, or is not going to disqualify me for the job that I'm getting. I mean, it would definitely help, because it's still nice to have a proper 4-year degree. But they only wanted like an associate's minimum, so. But that's something too that if they bring up why don't I have it, then it's I made a mistake on my application. I'm going to have it this year, the end of 2025. But I meant to mark no, I didn't graduate instead of yes. I'm just so used to saying yes because it's a lot easier to explain versus, it's a lot easier to explain versus being like, yeah, I'm only one class away and I'm taking it now and blah, blah, blah. So I'd rather just keep that one under the radar a bit more. But again, it's just a matter of time, so we'll see what happens. Also, seriously, how have I not found any lapis at all, man? Come on. They gotta have something somewhere. All these diamonds down here, but not even a single bit of lapis. We even found gold down here first, like, come on. The other thing too that I'm worried about is I'm gonna get it and then I won't get Fortunes 3 until I pretty much blow through all of my lapis, so I don't want that to be an issue. That's cool, game, didn't ask. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get any today. We'll do one more strip here, and then I'm probably gonna call it there, because we've been doing this for a pretty long time now, so... Whoops. A little bit too short there. Oh, we'll do one more as I go to do another, but alright. This will actually be the last one, because then I'm going to remember that this is going to be my last one instead of blanking out, so... Got some extra gold again that we can use. Not that I need it for a lot right now, but at some point I'm almost definitely going to, so... But yeah, no lapis, which seems to be the common theme in a lot of the worlds that I have, where I've got everything under the sun except for lapis to start with, so it makes things a lot tougher to get going, because you can't get fortune as fast, because you don't have any lapis, so yeah, not cool. But either way, we got what we could. And then we've got a couple of diamond ore veins that we've got tucked away, so once we do get some fortune, we can harvest those, and we should be in a good spot. But that's not our concern for right now. That seems pretty safe. Looks like nothing else is around here at all, so that's good. Kept all that unloaded. You can see we're already pretty much full on couple deep slate, so yeah, I think we're just gonna move around a ton of the different variants to a bit more of the bottom section. We'll keep those in there, those are a little different. There we go, redstone, I can go in there. There we go, nice and easy to sort everything away with. And then it is literally just getting a hold of lapis, which I'm gonna look that one up real quick because it cannot be that difficult to get. I know it's not that much of a pain. You can get it from mineshaft, shipwrecks, and villages. Villages is pretty interesting. I didn't actually know you could get them from villages. I don't actually ever seem to see them. But yeah, the ore is most common at -2 apparently. Sure, buddy. Then when it comes to trading, obviously you can trade for lapis, which is dumb. Let's either find it in shipwrecks, go trade for it, or get good and go mine for it. I mean, I guess at -2. I mean, we can get down to -2, so it's not the end of the world, but it's still not exactly ideal. So, but we're gonna worry about that tomorrow or later today, because I don't feel like doing that right now. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me today. It's day 68 in game, and for another 3 hours worth of work, we got a lot done. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see y'all again next time. Bye bye.